We have a leak here on a new GoPro Hero 9. I saw you reading about this earlier as well. GoPro's still doing it. They're trying to maintain their position in this whole thing. It's so difficult. You know, the action camera was GoPro put the action camera idea on the map, and it is still an action camera, but cameras in general, increasingly, the market share has been gobbled up by smartphones that have continued to get better. And then smartphones even went ahead and got the wide-angle lens that the GoPro was famous for, and people started using that. Now, smartphones are not as rugged as the GoPro, and there's still plenty of applications where it's the best choice, but it's just harder to justify in the current landscape of things to spend $500 on a GoPro when your smartphone does a pretty good job part of the time, most of the time. But I've looked at some relatively recent versions of the GoPro. I looked at the Hero 8, and I'm amazed at some of the stuff they're doing with stabilization. They're now talking about the next generation potentially going up to 5K. Anyway, they're hanging in there. Mm-hmm. All right? And this next version appears to point or indicate to us what their strategy might be going forward. There is a relatively healthy vlogger community going on YouTube. There's vloggers. And I know Sony, they have sort of dominated that marketplace. They've recently came out with a vlogging, I think it's the ZV-1, is that the name of it? Targeting the tools that a vlogger would want to have on their camera, including a flip around LCD display, a better microphone, and this is one area where it appears you can actually find something better than what your smartphone is capable of. Because if you want to have a screen on your smartphone, now you're on the front-facing camera, and those are never really that good, and certainly not if you're launching a YouTube channel. I'm not saying you can't, but you understand that's the target market for a product like the ZV-1. So GoPro might think, hey, we can have a piece of that if we want $500 from people. So here we have this Hero 9, and they put a screen on the front. Not just that usual black and white or gray tone LCD that tells you a little bit of information, but an actual color LCD, which presumably could give you a preview of what you're looking at, which is kind of a key characteristic for a vlogger. So we'll have to wait and see. This is just a leak at the moment. But like I said, front-facing display and potentially 5K, maybe it'll be enough to convince some people to pick up a GoPro, the next version of GoPro.